Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Humans of Atypical Life. This week we have Debargya, who is an autistic teenager, and he found his calling in art at the age of 13. Over the past 3 years, he has showcased his art in many exhibitions, nationally and internationally, and has received appreciation from experts and audiences alike. Being limited verbally and with a learning disability, art is his way of expressing himself. We also have his mother here with us today. Hi, Debargya and Sushri.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We are very happy to join this live.
Thank you for being here today. So, Debargya, would you like to show everyone your amazing artworks?
You can show some of your paintings there. With him. Would you like to show this one?
That's amazing. Even his paintings on the website are so filled with vivid colors.
Yeah. Would you like to tell what did you paint?
2D. We
You painted a tree. Okay, and there is this one. You can show this to the. This is actually also available through Atypica.
Yeah.
This I named this Golden Bliss. This is one piece of abstract art that Debargo did. This particular one, Debu, do you want to show this to Rithi and everyone? Yeah, this one he did in April. Here he has placed his, what are these, Debu?
puzzle.
Puzzle. He has placed his puzzle pieces to trace the puzzle pieces and then he painted them.
That's
Fun,
so.
but the painting has come up.
Mhm. Okay, so Sushri, will you like to tell us how his journey has been so far?
I think before art, Debargo struggled with lot of, we tried vocational, pre-vocational skills, academics, mainstreaming, as I think all parents with intellectual disability, they go through this progression of realizing what's possible with the child and what's not possible. So just like that only, there was a class coming up in Gurgaon, Angel Rehabilitation, where his current institute where he learns art from, Art and Soul, they started a class. And then Debarko joined the class because he was already part of the play group in that center, training center. So there only we realized that this art thing is something that's not what we have been imposing on the Bargo. Sports is also something that has been his strong point, but art, I think he actually loved it and he started enjoying it quite a bit.
Mhm.
And when sketching was okay, but when the brush and paint was introduced, then I think that was the turning point. And he loved it and he continued to grow.
That's where he realized his passion for painting, exactly. And you did too.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I've seen all of these amazing paintings of his, I see such vivid and vibrant colors. So does he have like a process in deciding those colors, or does he decide them randomly?
I think he starts with a base color.
Mhm.
Mostly his choice of base colors would be red, or now current favorite is aquamarine blue. The most bright and vibrant color, golden. I think those are the choice of colors initial for the base preparation.
Mhm.
And then he goes with the process and he develops the painting on his own. If we are working for a exhibition which has a brief, or if I have a particular color palette in mind, say for that tree painting that is named Love is in the Air, I think that was, I wanted him to create something in red. And that day we aligned. So red is something. So basic color he also chooses, or sometimes I also propose. But yeah, there are like totally NO. I don't want to say because he gets picked out with the word NO, that he doesn't want some color, he'll not use it. Or if he wants some color, then he'll take it. So I think it's both. A little bit of, I say, influenced spontaneity. Let us call it.
Great. Okay. And what are his major sources of inspiration to paint? Like the jigsaw puzzle one I saw, it was very nice. So what inspires him to paint a piece like that?
I think it's the texture of the paint. I think the people with autism, they have lot of affinities. I think the texture of the paint, the texture of the, say, the base that we use, I think those are the things he is drawn to. And the vibrancy of the color. He wouldn't stop unless and until if there is a muted, something muted he has created, he wouldn't stop unless he continues to flash color on it. So I think that would be my answer to this.
Okay. And we all know that, as I said, that his artwork has been presented in various exhibitions, like the one in Milano in Italy. And I just want to know, how did that happen? Like, what's the process? Did you like apply to present his artwork there, or like how did that take place?
I think I have to thank Atypical also for this. When Atypical come into play, I and Debargo was a part of Atypical since December, almost since the beginning of the platform. So I could see that there are so many intellectually disabled or otherwise so many artists, and they are doing so good. So already professionally, and they have grown adults. They are professional adults, artists there on the platform who has some or other disability. I think that has also acted as a catalyst in, I would say, strengthening or putting the vision, futuristic vision. It's okay, this can happen. When I saw the first live was probably with Karishma Kannan, I think, for the art fraternity, because with Debargo Paints, I am more interested in following artists in this region. So I think that is something that this can happen if groomed properly, if inspired properly. That kind of things can be achieved. I think that was also the exposure, I would say, was important. And for the Mads Milano, I think that opportunity came through, I started maintaining his Instagram account actively. And one of the art projects that I submitted in Original Magazine UK, it was called Hope. What is the word hope? What hope means to you? And being parent, everyone's parents are hopeful about their children, disability or not. So the word hope resonated with me. And I think that art project, when it got published in Original Magazine, I think that gave, and already Debargo, he had a digital footprint through his Atypical profile, through his Facebook page, through his Instagram page. I think that helped. And after Original Magazine, I think we got contacted by the Mads Milano curator himself.
Oh, that's
yeah, herself. She only contacted us through for this Gaia, and the theme was also quite abstract kind of a thing. If it is like a difficult theme, like wildlife or something, then maybe Debargo's art wouldn't have fitted into that concept. But this Gaia concept of natural energy and everything, that kind of resonated with me also. And thankfully, Debargo was in a very good mood, and he could use his favorite colors like aquamarine, blue, green, and the painting had come up really well. So that is a success story. I have, not through the exhibition, but I have received inquiries for that painting quite a few times. but we are thinking of keeping some of his paintings for a solo exhibition when this corona thing subsides.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of holding on to it for now.
Okay,
But
that was
I think
actually, like you said, he was in a good mood then. That was supposed to be my next question. That does he have a problem in, making artworks on a specific theme, or is he like in a specific mood when you have to do that? So that's what I wanted to know. Like, does he make whatever comes to his mind, or is there a specific process where he thinks that, yes, I actually have to make this?
okay, for us, he'll not come up and say that I want to draw a flower today, or I want to draw a tree today, or today I want to just color play. Abstract painting, he does not understand the term, but he understands the term color play. So today we will do color play, but he'll not choose it. But yeah, it's always a yes to color play. But sometimes if presented with an option with a painting with lot of detailing, there are NOs sometimes that, so I think that sometimes he doesn't want to, but yeah, generally he always says yes. For
No.
painting, it's always yes, and sometimes he seeks them also. Nowadays, actually, almost 3 days a week, we do either practice or we create something. But
Okay.
if we don't, he'll definitely seek it. And he loves his art class also. He
Mhm.
joins his art class online now,
Mhm.
and I think he always enjoys being part of it.
So other than painting, what are his other interests? Like, what does he like to do if he's not painting?
Cycling, he
Mhm.
loves. बाबू बाबू रे देखो आप भी बात कर सकते हो ना you
What do you
can
like?
talk what
Right
do you
side.
like
Side.
Ri-
Cycling.
riding cycling and what else do you love to go for a drive
Oof. Done.
huh
Car ride.
car ride okay so I think cycling and some amount of eating he loves but that is not a very he loves to go to restaurants
Return.
yeah traveling he loved but that is now and other than that what is available right now cycling is his second most favorite activity.
Mhm.
Digital exposure every kid likes these days so he loves his iPad and he does his puzzles and counting games and stuff like that which is part of his functional study. Those things he loves to do on iPad and he engages quite for a long time. He loves making tea for himself. That's a very high level skill that he has. He needs a little bit of assistance and he demands many biscuits.
That's
Okay.
it for you.
Acha, theek hai, no biscuit. So he loves making his tea. I think he keeps himself engaged, but most of the time he basically wants us to be with him all the time. I think that's the primary demand now that we are stuck at home.
Mhm. Okay. So, to conclude, I'd just like to ask you, Sushri, like, what message would you like to give to other parents who have children with disabilities? Anything you'd like to tell them?
I think every child has some inherent ability, and unless and until we are finding it, as parents, we need to keep on exploring.
Mhm.
We should not uh, restrict our thought process in any way. We have to be like totally sometimes naively faithful that something will work out and you have to keep trying. I think that's and something definitely works out. Debargo, his passion for painting and the amount today, I think he is not in a very, because it's a work day. So maybe he has not been with us for a very long period of time. He is now a bit anxious. But otherwise, I think painting is something that calms him down. He understands that for painting, people are talking to him and he is going to exhibitions. His photo is being published. He kind of likes that his paintings are out there in social media, and people are liking it. When I say that people have liked it and said that you are a good boy, he really loves it. I think that is some kind of empowerment, and that's a very big emotional boost for us also.
Mhm.
I think that's very inspiring, not only for him, for us also. And we surely hope that this becomes a profession for him, and this becomes whatever amount of success story he is and he becomes in future, that becomes an inspiration for people. Just like that, just like I got inspired by the artist that you have already, beautiful artist you have already listed in Atypical.
Okay. So thank you so much, Debargia. Thank you, Sushri, for taking the time out to be here with us today. It was an interesting conversation for sure.
Thank you, Vidhi. Thanks for being there with us through this journey. Thanks for aligning me to have this conversation. Hope I have done justice
You've done more
to.
than justice. It was a great conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Vidhi.
Okay.
Debu, sit.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later.
Alligator.
Okay. Signing off for now. We'll be back here next week with another interesting episode of Humans of Atypical.